Imagine this. You deploy your shiny new React app. It's fast, it's modern, it uses the latest React server components, oh yes. Life is good. Then out of nowhere, someone sitting in a dark room, miles away, sends a single malicious request to your server, and suddenly, they can run any code they want on your machine. No login. No session. No authentication whatsoever. Just boom, full access. Oh dear. As Sheldon Cooper would say. That's crazy, right? Well, guess what? That's exactly what just happened in the React world. Hey stars, welcome back to CodeStar, where we code with the stars. And today, React developers everywhere need to pay attention, because the last 2 weeks have been absolutely crazy. Remember last week's nightmare? That critical remote code execution vulnerability in React server components, the one rated CVSS 10.0, the highest severity possible. Well, buckle up. Because today, the React team just dropped another bombshell. 2 more vulnerabilities were discovered, and even worse, researchers found them while trying to exploit the fixes from last week. Yes. Even the patch we all rushed to install was still vulnerable. This is not a drill. On December 3rd, the React team posted on their blog and on X at around 3:44 p.m., revealing a critical remote code execution vulnerability, CVE 2025-55182, rated CVSS 10.0, the maximum severity. Here's what went wrong. React server components and server functions had a flaw in how they decoded incoming requests. Meaning, a hacker could send a malicious HTTP request. React would deserialize it without authentication. And the attacker could execute arbitrary code on your server. Boom, full server takeover. And the worst part? As I scrolled through the comments on the X post, I noticed one question popping up repeatedly. If I'm not using server functions, am I safe? The answer: no. If your app supports React server components at all, you were exposed. React quickly shipped a patch. Everyone updated. Crisis handled. Oh yeah, that's what we thought. Fast forward to this week. Security researchers tried to exploit last week's patch, and while doing that, they discovered 2 more vulnerabilities hiding inside React server components. Here's what the React team announced on December 11th. Denial of service, which is a very high severity. A malicious request could trigger an infinite loop inside React's ISC internals, hanging your server and burning CPU. Same story as last week. Even if you never used server functions, if your framework supports ISC, you're vulnerable. Source code exposure, a medium severity. A bad ISC request could force your server to return the source code of your server functions. Anything hard-coded inside them, API keys, connection strings, logic, could be leaked. Environment variables like process.end.secret are safe. But secrets inside your code? Exposed. These are the patches React released last week, so React had to push yet another patch. If your project uses any of these, you absolutely need to update again. Hosting providers have applied temporary mitigations, but please, do not depend on them. Update your packages. This might feel overwhelming, but the React team addressed it directly. When a critical bug appears, especially something like an RCE, researchers immediately examine the nearby code paths, trying to bypass or break the patch. This happened with Log4Shell. It happens in C, Rust, Java, everywhere. It's actually a sign of a healthy security response cycle. Even though it's frustrating for all of us. If your app uses RSC or a framework that uses RSC under the hood, update immediately. Verify your versions. Ensure your production servers redeploy. Check your log files and reinstall if necessary. Even if you don't use server functions, your RSC support alone makes you vulnerable. This is the first time a CVSS 10.0 vulnerability hit React's server ecosystem. And it's a reminder. React is evolving into a server-driven framework. More server equals more attack surface. More attack surface equals more responsibility for security. So stars, what do you think? Does this shake your confidence in React server components? Do you think frameworks are moving too fast? Or is this just part of innovation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear what you think. And remember, 95.1% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed yet. So if you learned something new today, hit that subscribe button and help us grow this community. Until then, stay safe, and don't forget, you are the star.